This is Local 4 News This Morning.
Good morning to you and welcome back. So in studio this morning we have two very special ladies, Tameka Toney, who is an accountant and CEO of TLT Accounting LLC, and Rasheda Jamison, who is a credit and financial education consultant. And we've been talking about inflation because I think all of us are really being impacted by that right now. And with costs going up, Tameka and Rasheda are both here to talk to us and discuss different ways that you can manage your money and stretch your family budget and stretch your dollar. So good morning, ladies. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning. We're so happy to have you here. So I think a big question that's on a lot of our minds this morning and just lately, how can we stretch our dollar with inflation going on and kind of stick to a budget?
Well, one of the things I would suggest, and this is where I always look at it, whenever there's a situation where, okay, I gotta make some changes in my budget. First things I always start with a lot of times is streaming services. All right, a lot of times we have so many and we don't even think about it. Like we might have Apple Music over here, and you know we have Netflix, and then Hulu, and then we have all these different streaming services. Narrowing it down to what am I using the most? All right, so I have to cut something out. I don't need multiple of the same thing. Another thing I do also is looking at the food category. There's nothing wrong with buying generic brands sometimes. Sometimes we get so comfortable with what we know. All right, this is what I know, this is what I'm used to. But when you have to cut costs, you have to start comparing that. Using coupons, things of that nature. All of that stuff is so important. I mean, and just kind of checking in most of those areas. And then moving forward, I like to kind of keep it specific to each client though, like when we go over their budget.
That makes a lot of sense. So while we can cut things out of our cut our budget by cutting certain things out, which are kind of considered luxuries. So buying name brand food, or cutting out that Netflix, or cutting it down where you have to get the ads on Hulu, where you just make some sacrifices. How are some ways that you can actually make extra streams of income, even if you are cutting those things out and you are cutting things down, ends are still not meeting? So how can you add more revenue to the money that you already have?
Tameka and I was just talking about that.
Yes, so once you see that there's a need for additional revenue, the first thing I would do is think about, what do you like to do? What are you passionate about? Are you creative? So do you like to sew? Do you like to sing? Do you like to dance? And try to turn that into some income. We have smartphones. We have the power of starting a business within like our hands or whatever. So I would give me one.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah.
Okay, so you can maybe become a freelance writer. You can start a vlog or a blog. You can help people with their marketing, and then those are ways to get extra income. So, but make sure you check your budget first to make sure there's a need.
Do you have anything to add to that?
No, I mean, I think she's pretty good with that. A lot of times I always suggest, what's your passion? Find out what your passion is, because your passion is something that you can talk about freely. You don't have to research, you know, so it's right there. Then you'd be surprised at how many people need what you know in your brain, you know, like, hey, I didn't know how to do this. I didn't know how to write a business plan, or I didn't know how to do these things. And you can offer your services.
And I also did something like that for myself. Like, multiple streams of income is something needed as a single parent. So I started TLT Accounting 4 years ago just to get multiple streams of income. It has helped me to sustain my household. And I know a lot of people are looking for that extra income and the flexibility to set their own hours. And with my clients, I usually ask them to think about their target audience as well. Like, who are you trying to reach when you are starting a business?
And really quick, so we have ways that we can cut things out of our budget, but what are some other ways that you can try to save money while still budgeting and still set some money to the side?
Oh, yeah. One of the things that I actually was just recently speaking to a client about along the lines of credit cards. I know a lot of people sometimes get nervous about that. However, if you're good at managing it already, I always start there, because I don't encourage anybody to just go out and get credit cards if you're not good at managing money. But if you are, there's a lot of cards right now that have rewards, you know, so this is something that I actually use as an additional savings. So right now we know gas prices is like through the roof.
Yes, it's no fun.
So, exactly, so everyone's always looking for that. So it's like a lot of cards offer 4% back, you know, 4% cash back, 2% cash back when you use gas. certain stores and restaurants, if you're eating out or doing that, which when you're trying to cut a budget, you have to cut that eating out down. But if you're going to do it, use these rewards cards, because what happens, they give you that cash back, put it in your savings, save it for a rainy day, because eventually you can turn around and use it, but pay it back with your cash that you have on hand.
All right, thank you so much, ladies, for being here this morning. We just learned so much on how to save some money, because that's what's on, I think, all of our minds right now.
Yes.
Trying to save some money.
How am I going to keep my coin?
Exactly. So again, despite these high inflation rates, there are ways that you can manage your money, and Miss Tameka and Miss Rasheda just broke it down for us and gave us some really good tips, insightful things here. So you can adjust your budget, you can find a second string of income, and you can also create an emergency fund. So if you are struggling, there are some community resources such as Project Now and Community Action of Eastern Iowa, and they can help you too. So our guests have more resources on Facebook at TLT Accounting LLC and on the website keystocreditsuccess.com. For more information, all you have to do, go to our website at ourquadcities.com.